Confidence Through Health podcast. Today's topic is something that I get asked about a lot, and it has to deal with discipline. And the thing that I get asked a lot about is where do I get the motivation and discipline to continue doing my career, if you will, of running? How do I continue to day after day go out and run sometimes the same exact route over and over and over without getting bored, without feeling like I'm just, you know, spinning my wheels? Like, where does that discipline and motivation come from? And for me, it's a drive to get better. It's a drive to see if I can get better. It's a drive to know that there's there's going to be somebody out there that's faster than me. I'm not like delusional to know that there's not going to happen. I've been beaten before. I've been beaten every year, but I also have different kinds of streaks that I have in my head of, hey, and on paper, I can trace it back on paper. Streaks like I haven't lost my age group in the state of Texas in almost 9 years. Um, like so there's things that I go after and I'm like, how long can this happen? How long can I keep this going? How many can I do? Can I get better? Maybe not in a time from a race standpoint, but can I be more efficient? Can I feel better? And there is a formula when it comes to running, and I know there's the same things for there's formulas out there for biking and for swimming and for other endurance events where you can plug in your age, the distance, and the time that it took you, and it'll tell you it's called an age grade percentage. And so it'll tell you from a percentage basis how you compare to those people you're competing against who are still in their 20s and 30s or teens. And it'll tell you if, like, okay, well, maybe you didn't beat them in the actual clock time, but given your age, it was harder for you to do what you did than for them to do what they did, right? You rank higher up in like the overall system for your age than they do. And and so trying to get the highest age grade percentage, that's something that drives me. And now granted, I'm just talking about athletic things. And when it comes to what I do with my athletes, what I'm coaching, what I do with my nutrition clients and in health and wellness clients, it's about, can I get them to achieve something that they don't think is possible, right? I believe that pretty much everything is possible. I've done episodes on that before in Life Lesson Fridays. Can you believe that it's possible and can you get there? And when I can see one of my athletes or one of my nutrition, health, and wellness people get to a goal that they didn't think was possible, and I talked to one of my clients today who didn't think he was going to be able to do this specific thing in the time frame that he gave himself to do it, and he did it in a shorter time frame. Like he thought it would take him 4 to 6 weeks, and he did it in 3 weeks. And so there's things that we can achieve if we simply believe. And I think that's where discipline comes from. Discipline comes from believing in yourself. If you believe in yourself that you can achieve something, then the discipline to do the tasks that it takes to actually get there become pretty easy. Or I should say maybe they're simple, right? Maybe there's always challenges, there's always things that come up that make things difficult to do. Maybe not in the steps that it takes to do those things, but there's challenges that come up because it's mentally, I don't want to do it today. Maybe it's the weather, maybe it's the emotions, maybe it's a conversation with a colleague, maybe it's a family issue that's going on. There's things that come up that get in the way or potentially can get in the way. But as one of my clients said on Monday night, that when he works out with me, he just focuses on working out. He leaves his office behind. He leaves his patience behind. He leaves all the issues behind and he just dives into, I'm working out for this hour and I'm just going to do what Jerry tells me and I'm just going to do it until I can't anymore. And he said because of that, we had to skip a session because he just got slammed at work. And he worked one night instead of being able to meet with me at 6:30, he worked one night all the way till 8 o'clock. And so we weren't able to meet. And that time when we met finally again, he said, it I suffered not just that day, but I suffered the next day and I suffered the next day because I couldn't meet with you and put all that stuff behind and then also get the stress benefits, the de-stressing benefits of what exercise provides. And he's not at his goals from his physical standpoint of where he wants to be. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Getting that discipline of being able to do things daily that we know we're supposed to do from a health standpoint puts our body first. And without your body, you have no life. Like once the body stops working, you're dead. And so you have to do everything that you can to keep it operating as optimally as it can. That's one of the core beliefs that I have is like we have one body. We were blessed to be here and we got to do everything we can to keep it optimal. Like it's not going to be perfect. There's always going to be issues. There's always going to be things that come up. There's going to be injuries. There's going to be illnesses. There's going to be there's going to be big things and little things that happen. But the more optimal we are when those things happen, the quicker we're going to recover, the better it's going to be on the other side. And the easier it's going to be to get back to the life that we know. And whether it's a hospitalization or several weeks of going to physical therapy or whatever it is that we go through, getting back to the life that we want and have to enjoy is going to be easier if we're trying to keep ourselves optimal all the time. And so when you have those driving factors, discipline becomes very easy. Discipline becomes very easy. And it's something that if you think about most of us in the world have had bills that we've got to pay. And if we don't pay the light bill or the electric bill, they're going to shut the electricity off eventually, right? They'll give you a grace period to get it paid, but then they're going to shut it off and you're not going to have electricity. And so you're not going to have a refrigerator that works. You're not going to have air conditioning. You're not going to have, the ability to heat your food in the microwave, do the different things. Like you can't take a shower with hot water. There's difficulties that come with not doing that. So what happens? You go through that maybe once, and then you get disciplined to say, I'm making sure that electric bill gets paid. And so those things we've all experienced. And it's simply just taking those same experiences and putting them into our daily life when it comes to our body, when it comes to our nutrition, when it comes to anything health related, anything sports related, anything career related, anything relationship related. When we realize that if we don't do those things, there's going to be consequences. To avoid the consequences, it's easy to do the things that we need to do, right? Like know that those consequences are out there and they're waiting to happen. And it's just like I tell my athletes that run cross country, like the pain is coming. You can't run to avoid the pain. The pain is coming. You have to know what to do when the pain comes. And those obstacles are out there. If you're not disciplined, they're going to come and they're going to strike. And so having the discipline to continue to do everything that you do to get to where you want to be becomes very easy when you say, well, I just want to avoid the consequences. So I'm just going to keep doing the things I need to do because then the consequences don't happen. So, but the discipline it's all about understanding that I really, really, really want this goal. These are the things that get me there. So I need to do them. And from there, it's pretty black and white. Does that mean that things come in the way? Absolutely. Right? Does that mean it's easy and simple all the time? No, it's not. But when you really, really want it, It makes it really, really easy to make sure you stay on track. So that's the life lesson Friday for this episode